Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. In every podcast, I'll talk about an organizing, decluttering, productivity, or time management concept, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away, all in just 5 minutes. My specialty is chunking down these big topics so they aren't overwhelming. That's the concept for the podcast, too. I'm now done with the material from my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. If you want the book, you can find it on my website or on Amazon. And you can view the show notes for this podcast on my blog. If you have questions or would like me to talk about a particular topic, just shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I would love to hear from you. Keep in touch by getting on my mailing list. It's under the Free Stuff tab on my website, cluttercoach.net. Okay, here we go. This is podcast 120, and it's about rewarding yourself. It seems logical that having a reward to look forward to would motivate you to complete a task. You tell yourself, once I finish writing my book, I'll take a nice vacation. Once I complete that bike marathon this summer, I'll buy those new shoes I've been wanting. Tony Robbins believes that your brain gets positively conditioned by rewards, that the draw of the reward is great enough to overcome any resistance to doing a task. This is basic psychological reinforcement. To do this conditioning, you have to be consistent in giving yourself rewards, or you become like one of those neurotic rats in a maze that sometimes gets a pellet of food and sometimes gets a shock. Rewards don't always work, though. As Gretchen Rubin points out, a reward can signal that it's time for us to take a break, permanently. Rewards you give yourself at the end of a task are the ones you have to watch out for. Once you complete a project, there's a natural period of emptiness that follows. You're no longer putting in a few hours a day training or spending every morning working on that book. Your schedule is disrupted. It has a big hole in it. That creates a vacuum, which is reinforced by the reward that often knocks you further off the productive course you were on. This is one reason I like to have several projects to work on concurrently. It allows me to procrastinate on one as long as I'm making progress on another, or to work on the one that feels the most inspiring to me at the moment. It also means that I'm almost never completely at the end. When one project is finished, the others are still in progress. That helps me avoid that vacuum. Do kids still suffer from senioritis? This strikes during the last semester of high school and ramps up considerably once you've been accepted to college or your biggest exams are over. You lose motivation big time. If students were monitored until the last day of school by their future colleges, senioritis could probably be avoided. But it's human nature to stop doing something once it's complete, unless you've already lined up your next project. So that's another way to use rewards. Enjoy them, but have a specific project lined up to start right after that. Pay attention to what rewards work for you. They don't have to be elaborate. They just have to make you feel, well, rewarded. I will often work for an hour on a long project and then give myself permission to stop. That's the whole reward. I can forget about this project for the rest of the day and go on to something else. For me, it's important to be able to let something go for a while, even if it's not finished and even if it doesn't seem to be going very well. Tomorrow is another day. Do you deserve a reward? You do if you're honest about your accomplishments. You may not intentionally be lying to yourself, but people are susceptible to feeling a sense of achievement before it's warranted. According to Kelly McGonigal, whose book The Willpower Instinct I've quoted before, when you take notice of progress you've made, your brain says, hey, I did it, I can stop now. And then it starts focusing on the other goal it wants to achieve, which is the reward. When study subjects who have made progress on a goal are asked how much progress they've made, they are much more likely to reward themselves in a way that actually negates some of that progress. On the other hand, when those subjects are asked how committed they are to their goal, they easily resist it. This brings up how you feel about your goal and what you need to do to achieve it. If you really want to climb a mountain but view the daily practice to get in shape as drudgery, you may be inclined to reward yourself more often, which can then reinforce the fact that you're not enjoying yourself. It's a tricky thing, but finding a way to connect your desire to reach the goal with what you have to do to get there probably works better than rewarding yourself. Back to the honesty point, the kind of thing I'm talking about is feeling so good that you've actually, say, written a to-do list that you no longer feel compelled to do any of the tasks on it. I write quite a bit about how to give yourself small, doable to-dos and pay attention to your own behavior so you can manage your attention and energy and calibrate your to-do list accordingly. Meaning, make tasks as small as you need to actually get them done without procrastinating. So I'm kind of on the fence about rewards. What about you? Here's what you can do right now. Experiment on yourself. Pick 2 tasks that you don't particularly want to do. For the first one, give yourself a reward after you do it. For the second one, simply take a break, relax, or just shift your attention to something else, which is much more low-key and has the added benefit of helping you be more productive later. And see which one works best for you. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to it. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. And you'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net. And again, please come visit me on livecoach.io and get that gift certificate while the offer lasts. LiveCoach offers a money-back guarantee after your first month, so there's no risk. See you next time.